And we have a terrible, terrible story on something that never needed to happen. If Joe Biden would just put in Trump's policies, be harsh on the border, you'd have these 40 people still alive. Not just 40 people, 42 people to be specific. We have reports here that at least 42 people were found dead inside a truck carrying migrants into Texas. And the way they died is just, it's horrible. Just completely horrible. So more than 40 illegal immigrants were found dead inside an 18-wheeler tractor trailer on the southwest side of San Antonio, Texas, while authorities rushed 16 others to nearby hospitals. I don't have reports on if they all survived and how many of them died. But there was live video from News 4 San Antonio showing fire trucks and police at 9600 block in New Laredo Highway on the southwest side. KSAT News reports several ambulances coming and going to the scene. There was a report that 46 of them died. You have a quote here, "Our prayers raised up to you, O Lord, for their souls. Lord, have mercy on them. They hope for a better life. Lord, after Uvalde, and now this, help us. We need you. So many people suffering. God, God, God." This comes from the Archbishop of San Antonio, from the Archdiocese. You have Uvalde. Texas has been dealing with this immigration crisis since Joe Biden's been in office. You have Greg Abbott trying to do everything he freaking can, to the point where literally the taxpayers of the state of Texas are having to pay for their own border wall, which is supposed to come from the federal government. But when you have the executive branch, the head of the executive branch, Joe Biden, not wanting to execute the laws like he's supposed to do by protecting his citizens, protecting the borders, basically, like we said in yesterday's show, giving amnesty and wants to give amnesty to about 1 million illegal immigrants. This is what you have. They haven't done anything. They're not going to do anything. We've said it 1,000 times. Every episode I feel like we do on immigration, nothing's changed. Things only get worse. You have 6,000 to 8,000 people coming in per day. You have roughly 3 million people, that the ones we know about 3 million people coming in. Of that 3 million, CBP, DHS, Alejandro Mayorkas, the DHS secretary, just allows 1.5 million people into the interior United States. You have people that are on no-fly watch list coming into the country. You have active murders that they're catching on a weekly basis. We did that on the old episode about a couple weeks ago. This is on a weekly basis. Mass amounts of fentanyl, drugs, murderers, sex traffickers. All this stuff is coming in on a weekly basis, and he doesn't want to stop it. His main job as commander-in-chief is to protect the people of the United States. He's not doing it. Can you imagine if you were a CEO of a company and you weren't doing your basic duties? Do you think you would still have a job? Do you think you would be out? I think so. But not Joe Biden. He'll get reelected by the Democrats. Even if the man literally can't speak, he's slurring his words. He can't even chew his food, so he's having it blended up and fed to him. The Democrats will still elect him because they don't have anybody else. Literally nobody else. But everything's the Republicans' fault. Everything's the Republicans' fault. So a spokesperson from San Antonio Police Department told the Daily Wire authorities will hold a press conference tonight on the critical incident. Authorities will live stream the event on the department's Facebook page. The spokesperson did not have an exact time. The incident comes approximately 24 hours after San Antonio police bust a human smuggling operation at a local home where 14 illegal immigrants were found, ranging in ages from 19 to 33. And again, this brings me to my point. 1.5 million were allowed into the country. Some say upwards of 3 million. You have over 200,000 people crossing into the border every single month. But those are the ones that we know about. These numbers are so much higher, it is ridiculous. Case in point, these 14 illegal immigrants, we knew nothing about. We just found them. For a smuggling operation, Joe Biden has created a multi-billion, with a B, multi-billion dollar industry for smuggling people, sex trafficking, for the drug cartels, MS-13, all this stuff Joe Biden created. He's creating jobs, folks, not for Americans, but for other immigrants, people that aren't even part of our nation. He's creating jobs, but just for people that want to kill you, not to assimilate with our country. And I'm not talking about the people that want to come into this country and have a better life. I am talking about actual criminals, terrorists, drug lords, crime-ridden people. These are the people he wants to come in. Because if he didn't, he would be harsher on the border. But he's not. He doesn't give a crap. He doesn't give a crap about you. He probably, again, he says he cares. He says he cares about the oil. He says he cares about the economy. He says he cares about immigration. He says he cares about everything. But his actions prove otherwise, which, again, goes to my point at the beginning of the show, that the Democrats will say one thing and do something different. And that something different is only hurting this country. So you have Greg Abbott coming out and tweeting at least 42 people found dead inside a truck carrying migrants in Texas. These deaths are on Biden, 100% correct. And not just on Joe Biden. They're on DHS Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas, because he's the one that's also in charge. So you have multiple people in charge. You have Joe Biden. Joe Biden doesn't want to do anything, so Joe Biden put Kamala Harris in charge. The borders are. She didn't do anything, still hasn't figured out where the hell has she been, other than cackling and laughing at everything. And then you have Alejandro Mayorkas not doing anything either. So he should be added to the list as well. So we got 3 people to blame for sure. They're a result of his deadly open border policies. They show the deadly consequences of his refusal to enforce the law, which is his sole job, is to enact and execute the laws that are on the books. And he's not. He's removing them. He's making things worse. You also have Ted Cruz adding in, horrific. This is wrong. How many more people have to die before Dems give a damn? No, they'll shout that they give a damn, Ted. Oh, they'll shout till the skies that they give a damn. If people will believe it, but their actions, again, prove otherwise. You have Tony Gonzalez of Texas saying, today in San Antonio, it was 102 degrees. Imagine being abandoned inside an 18-wheeler left to die. 42 people died today. Will Mayorkas even mention their names? Probably not. But if you saw that episode where he's like, the magnets, Brett. The magnets, Brett Barr. He was talking to Brett Barr of Fox News, and he's talking about these freaking magnets and the drug cartels. Those are the ones to blame. Oh, the drug cartels, but the magnets are to blame. Well, we know where they are. And Brett Barr was also talking about the terrorists that they let in this country, going, hey, do we know where they are? Oh, we know. Oh, we know where everybody's at, Brett. We know where everybody's at. The guy doesn't have a clue where anybody's at. Now 40 people had to freaking die. Can you imagine sitting in a trailer, over 42 people? Because remember, about 16 people went to the hospital. So you got over 50, almost 60 people in this thing, cooking to death. Literally, their body's overheated. And the feeling of that, of overheating, and your body can't actually adapt to it, is a terrible, terrible death, you guys. It's not like you're about to pass out. It's terrible. It's excruciating. So of the 46, it included 4 kids as well. It makes me wonder if those kids' parents were with them, or if they just sent them over here just willy-nilly. Just, here you go. You'll be fine. Go with these random people that we don't even know, but we'll pay off. Gonzalez also added the death count rises to 46 with another 16 in the hospital to include 4 kids. Lord, when will the nightmare end? Well, not until Joe Biden's out of office, I'll tell you that much. Spoiler alert, Senator Mayorkas is one responsible. He should resign. Hey, throw Kamala Harris in the mix too, because she's also one to blame. And this is what Mayorkas had to say, folks. Unbelievable. I am heartbroken by the tragic loss of life today, and am praying for those still fighting for their lives. Far too many lives have been lost as individuals, including families, women, and children, take this dangerous journey. What I find interesting about this whole thing is that it's okay for him to say that he's praying, but when the right says they're praying after a tragic shooting, oh, what's praying gonna do? What's all this gonna do? So it's okay when he does it. Nobody's going to go after him from the left or the Democrat Party for saying, oh, well, you're just praying for lives but not doing anything different. But when the right does it, then we're going to bash them, till they're into the ground. Unbelievable. And I'm glad that he's praying. I'm not against that. I think it's great that he's praying. But I would like that prayer to turn into his ability to protect the border, which is already there. Start building it again. Putting more law enforcement at the border. Being strong and strict on this. Start doing more deportations. Being strong on it, actually have a voice out there, but no, he's going to sit there and send out a nice tweet and not do anything. So there's the update on illegal immigration. I hope you enjoyed that clip from the Bald Brad Show. If you did, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date on all our future content.